Hello everyone, welcome to our Timeless Oracle reading. And our Oracle card for today belongs to the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle by Kelly T. Smith. The card for today is entitled Reconciliation. Now, this card makes us reflect on ourselves and try to see if at this point in our life's journey, is there a need for us to reconcile with someone? Now, this someone can still be living or already has gone ahead of us. Now, the important thing is we try to see which person right now in our lifetime do we need to be reconciled with. Now, it's not easy to reconcile because somehow reconciliation means that it has been a relationship that has been strained, where somehow the relationship has been wounded in a certain sense, that people involved were also wounded along the way. Now, because it's a relationship, it affects both persons. It's not only you, but also the other persons who are involved in that conflict or that strain in the relationship. Now, it's not easy to reconcile. There are two main energies that are involved here. The person who has offended the other and the one who has been hurt. Now, you can be in any of those energies depending on whatever relationship you need to reconcile right now. If you are the one who have offended another person, then the card calls you to have the humility to accept your mistake and to ask for forgiveness. If you are the one who has been hurt, then the card asks you to be generous and to forgive. Now, in a certain sense, when we forgive, all of us, in a certain sense, when it comes to a conflict, all of us have a contribution to hurting the people concerned. All of us also have been also victims in a certain sense, have certain aspects in the relationship where we have been hurt also. So somehow in the reconciliation, when we forgive, we do not only forgive the person who has hurt us, but we also forgive ourselves, because somehow we contributed also to the situation. At the same time, when we ask for forgiveness, we also in a certain sense forgive the other person, because you are already extending a hand of friendship or somehow a hand towards reconciliation. Now, it's not an easy way. It requires humility. It requires a certain sense of maturity also on our part. But it takes, all we have to do is to start that single step. And sometimes the single step did not have to be the difficult one. The single step is to start with the spirit. It's like manifesting a certain dream or a certain aspiration. Manifesting things starts with the spirit. So at the same time, when we try to manifest reconciliation with other people, it starts with the spirit. And it's often easier when we start with the spirit. So what we do is we start with visualizing the person who is involved in the conflict, and through the spirit, it's either we ask for forgiveness from that person, or at the same time, we forgive that person. So even if we haven't met the person yet, at this moment, for example, you are listening to this card right now, you can immediately initiate the reconciliation by either forgiving in spirit or asking for forgiveness in spirit. The second step that we can do is to ask the divine and our spirit guides to create a situation that will allow us and allow the other person to come into a neutral space or a neutral situation where finally the physical reconciliation will become a reality. Sometimes all we have to do is to start with these 2 steps and then allow the Spirit to guide us, allow the process to unfold, and sooner or later we will realize that the reconciliation was not really as hard as we imagined it to be. So somehow the invitation of the card right now is for us to start, at least to start those 2 steps, to forgive or to ask for forgiveness in spirit. And then the second one is to kneel down in prayer or to take a moment in order to pray to the divine and to your spirit guides, to ask for them to create a neutral situation or a neutral opportunity for you and the person concerned to be reconciled. And allow the Spirit to guide you as this process unfolds. Now, if it is regarding a person who has already gone ahead of us, now it is much easier. All you have to do is to forgive or to ask forgiveness in spirit and to ask the divine and your spirit guides to help facilitate this reconciliation with the one who has gone ahead of us. Now, let us try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card so that we can gain more insights regarding reconciliation. This relationship, friendship, or partnership can be saved. Indeed, this relationship, friendship, or partnership can be saved, but you are the one being asked to be the bigger person by doing what is necessary to call a truce. Both parties are being stubborn instead of seeking a resolution that serves the highest good of all of those involved. Are you ready to find a compromise that restores the harmony between you? The reconciliation card comes to you today to tell you that there is a communication breakdown. If all parties involved are willing to communicate, this situation can and will be resolved. However, it takes a certain amount of vulnerability to admit when you are wrong and to forgive someone for their wrongdoing. Be willing to step into that vulnerability, humility, and grace to initiate a truce in this situation. Begin by asking to speak to this person and then do so from a heart-centered space. See both sides and be willing to let go of the need to be right. When you let go of this need, you will be in a space where you can fully listen to what the other person has to say. Listen with your whole heart and be open-minded to hearing the other side of the story. This is a relationship worth salvaging. There is no need to give up. Resolution is guaranteed when this card shows up in your reading. Intuitive life coaching questions. What are your feelings around this situation and why? What grievance is causing you to dig in your heels the most? Is it possible that there could be a misunderstanding? If so, in what ways? Can you see a middle path between the differing sides? Well, that's it for today. I hope it has inspired you to reflect on your life and try to see what kind of reconciliation is needed in your present life's journey. At the same time, may it inspire you also to reach out and reconcile with whomever you need to reconcile with. Well, thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you also for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.